Hi, I'm Arran, and today I am reviewing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Threezero 6-pack, including the Green Ranger. And I'm showing you the sleeve first because it's easier. So this is the front here with all the Rangers, and it says, which looks fantastic, and at the bottom it says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 6-pack, including the Green Ranger. And if I turn it around to the side, you get the classic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger lightning bolt. Now, it's clear at the moment because I haven't got the main box in there. But when the main box is in there, you get a picture of the Rangers in the lightning bolt. And on the back, which I also love, is a picture of all 6 power coins in the gold metallic writing or picturing, and I absolutely love it. I really do. Now, one thing I'll quickly add before I move on to the main set. When this first came out, this did cost me 550 quid. But trust me, it's worth it. Because I've just reviewed the White Ranger and the the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield. But yes, I absolutely love this set, and if I can find somewhere that has it in stock, I will put the link down below. But this has been out for quite a while now, and I know it's been well sought after, so I may or may not be able to find somewhere. So yeah, I'll show you the inside box now. So this is the main box out of the sleeve. So it has some absolutely amazing artwork. So it says, on this side of the box, it says it's Morphin Time. Trademark catchphrase for Mighty Morphin. Well, I say Mighty Morphin, there are other seasons that have done it as well, but Mighty Morphin started it off, so it kind of is a trademark for them. Again, that looks fantastic. And if I show you the front side now, or this side I should say, which looks absolutely amazing again. Now, there is another thing with this artwork, is it does fold out to be a huge kind of piece of artwork, which is why you're only seeing some of the Rangers this side. So yeah, I will show you that piece of artwork that folds out to be a big piece, but I'll do that at the very end of the review. And this is the other side here, and this is also not just licensed by Threezero, this is also licensed by Hasbro, because obviously Hasbro are in the license to Power Rangers now. They have since 2019, I believe, which again, I love them having the license. And if I hang on. And if I turn it around to the side, you get, again, some good piece of artwork there. And then I'll turn it around to the other side, which, this side, you know, I showed you the lightning bolt that was clear on the sleeve, had no picture on it at all. Well, this side in the lightning bolt is what you see that's in the sleeve. That picture shows up in the sleeve. And I'll show you this side again. Again, I absolutely love this, and it's licensed by Threezero and Hasbro. The one thing I didn't actually show you on the outer box that I should have shown you actually, or on the sleeve, is it's got the certificate of authenticity from Threezero on it. So these are official figures, which means nobody else has the license to do these other than Threezero and obviously Hasbro because they own the franchise. But anyway, I'll open it up and show you the big piece of artwork now. So on the back, I've unfolded the entire box, and this is the artwork you get on the back, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love it. And I am so glad I got this set. Even though it cost me 550 quid. But it's worth it. And if they do the Armoured Black Ranger, I am going to get him as well. So I will get him as well if they bring him out. And in the comics, the Pink Ranger had it in the comics, in the Boom Comics ones. So the Pink Ranger had the dragon shield on for one. So if they did that as well, I get that. So let's get on to the main figures now. The reason I'm not showing you the side where the figures should be is because I've actually taken the figures out to make it easier for me to move the box, because with the figures in it, it's really heavy, and obviously it's difficult for me to move with the figures in it. So that's why I'm not showing you the side that should have the figures in it. But anyway, let's get on to the figures. So I'm doing the Blue Ranger first, but I'm going to talk about his accessories first, which he has quite a few of. Now, he does have the Blade Blaster before I pick them up and talk about them. He does have the Blade Blaster the same as the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield and the normal Red Ranger. But I'm not going to show you what that does because, well, it does the exact same thing as the red one did. So I'm not going to show you what that does. But yes, it does change into the weapon, into the Blade Blaster, and the actual blade itself. And obviously it folds down to go in the holster. But anyway, on to the accessories. So, I'm going to start with probably my favourite of the Blue Rangers, is the Power Lance. power lances, which again I absolutely love, and they do join together actually, these, to become one big weapon, and I will show you that in time. I just want to talk about them first. So it has the Triceratops power coin there, which looks fantastic in a metallic gold. And so anyway, it's got the little, shall I say, lightning bolt things on the side, on the back there, and on the front, and nothing on the two end blades here. And I think the kind of lightning bolts is not only a nod to Mighty Morphin, I think it's so. With them coming, actually before I extend it and show you, these are ridiculously sharp, so be careful because they are ridiculously sharp. And do not, I know you guys won't, but do not put this where your kids can get hold of it, because you could probably poke someone's eye out, to be quite honest. Anyway, how it extends is you just pull it up and it kind of clicks into place. So it extends, I'll hold it a different way, extends kind of that far, which, to be honest, I never thought they would do this. And some figures I know of that have done this in the past have included an extra bit to put in the middle to join them together, whereas Threezero have done it where you can just clip them together at the end. If you look at the ends here, that's how they clip together. Ouch, just stabbed myself. I'll show you the other one quick. If I can figure it out. So the other ones is exactly the same as the last one. Actually, I've just noticed something that I want to check. Oh no, I thought they'd missed a bit of paint out on the silver bit, but they haven't. Which would have been an absolute nightmare if they had. I would have been really peed off. Again, exactly the same as the last one. Ridiculously sharp, because I just stabbed myself with it again. But yeah, I love these. And again, this one extends as well, that far again. And again, this is how they join together. I will join them together to show you, but I'll do it right at the end of me talking about the accessories. You do have to kind of twist this one to get it to fold back down to being small, whereas that one you didn't have to, which is a little bit strange, but actually you do have to twist that one. A little bit strange, but it's a good thing. Again, like I said before, I'm not going to transform the plain blaster because it's exactly the same. But again, you do get it with it and it looks absolutely fantastic. Attention to detail is amazing on these things. Now, the one thing I will point out is when you're trying to get up the silver blade piece to actually have it in blade mode, the silver piece is a right pain in the arse to get out. Trust me, it takes a lot of work. And I saw someone which I thought was do on YouTube, which I thought was a stupid idea. They stuck a knife in there to try and help them prise it out. And I thought, what a stupid thing to do. Now it did get it out, but it's really stupid thing to do. And then another person I saw, they did a really clever thing actually, and they attached a bit of blue tack onto the end of it and pulled it, and it actually pulled the blade out, which I thought was absolute genius. But I would not use a knife on this because you will scratch the absolute hell out of the paint on the main blaster itself and on the blade. Now, if yours has some slight dings in it, I nearly dropped it then, but if yours has some slight dings in it, like a couple of mine have, don't worry about that. That's how Threezero has designed them. Because on the show, they get, really beaten up. They get lobbed everywhere, chucked in explosions, everything. Plus, I've also seen pictures of them at PMC. And they are in a right state at PMC, but they are still an awesome thing to have on display there. Now, so he has several pairs of hands, 2 open ones, kind of like a open palm hand sort of thing, with the stitching, which looks absolutely fantastic. Again, some people say they should have made them a bit dirty, but I'm kind of glad they didn't. And if you wanted to, you could make them a bit grubby yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it. And he has a couple of fists or weapon holding hands. I can never tell with this one, which again look absolutely amazing, and I do recommend you do store these weapons and places in a safe place, even if it's back in the box, because obviously if you lose these you're screwed. And this is, I think, the other weapon holding hand, or fist hand actually, which means this will also be a fist hand. And these are really difficult to keep hold of, guys. This is hold it up the right way, Arran, a weapon holding hand, a fist hand. Again, you get quite a few fist hands with this, and this is, I think, another fist hand, which again looks fantastic. And the hands he's got on him now, which I'll show you in a minute, I believe are the weapon holding hands. So, quick thing, I said the fist and weapon hands the wrong way around. So, I'm going to add this into the video. So, the weapon holding hands are the ones with the hole in the middle, And no, I'm not being rude. I just had to put that out there. But yeah, these the weapon holding hands are the ones with the hole in the middle, and obviously the fist hands are the ones without the hole in the middle, as you can see there. So yeah, that's an easy way how you can tell. And also, I've put the, if I can pick it up, stop myself. God damn it, I stabbed myself again. So I put the two power lances together, which look absolutely amazing. Actually, that one wasn't quite out enough, but yeah, I put them two together, which makes the weapon ginormous. Now, again, I'll say this, they are quite sharp, and how they go together is there's like little, one's got a little peg on it and one's got like a little hole on it, and they kind of peg together. But yes, it looks absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm going to quickly add this in. The bits with the kind of like tridents on the end, the poles are a little bit bendy, so you've got to be careful you don't break them. So, anyway, onto the figure. So, we've got him on the stand, and it wasn't easy, I'll say that. That's all I'm going to say, because you don't want to hear what else we've said. I've got him holding his weapon with the blade blaster in the holster. Now, I kind of like the way he's holding his weapon. I know technically he doesn't hold it like this in the show, but I kind of like the way he's holding it. Yeah, he's on the stand, looks fantastic. One thing to be aware of, if you buy these stands, some of them can be a right pain in the butt to put together. And also, with the bits that are going around the waist, do them above the belt, because otherwise it makes the belt go way too high. And you can see the seam of the suit. Which just looks weird if you don't know about the belt. Quick note, I think I've said this in the White Ranger and Red one, warm the hands up, warm the weapon hands up to make it easier to get him to hold the weapons. And in some cases, just be aware when you're doing this, but in some cases you may have to warm their weapon up as well. But be aware of that, because it is only plastic. Yeah, he looks absolutely fantastic. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to get the hands on, because it's quite stiff. Again, that's why I recommend you warm it up. And also, another quick thing I'm going to add is the ball joints they do come out of this quite often. But this is a thing with Threezero'S, for some reason, the hands always pop, the ball joints always pop out of their figures. And I have no idea why. I know it drives a lot of people I know absolutely nuts. But there's no way you can remedy that, really, because you can't make the ball joints. It's done by Threezero. But anyway, love the colour of this. Love the way the weapons looked. And the shine on the helmet is absolutely awesome. Quick thing I will say though is I know some people have brought 3D printed heads for these figures because they're not very happy with them. That Wild Ranger 5 does. Now, personally, I think the heads that came with these are fine. I wouldn't pay out money to buy 3D printed ones. And not only that, if you're getting the entire set of helmets with the neck joints that he had to make, it's a couple of £100. I think it's like £400 or £500. But I wouldn't pay that. But I'm not I'm not blaming Wild Ranger 5 for doing it, because I know he's quite a perfectionist. And in some ways so am I, but I'm quite happy with these helmets. But anyway, that's the Blue Ranger figure and all his accessories. I absolutely love it. So this is the Mmpr Black Ranger, aka Zach or Adam, because obviously season 2 Adam was the Black Ranger. So I'll show you the accessories first. Now I'm going to show you this one first, which is Zach's Power Axe, because it is one big beefy boy. And I absolutely love it. It's you may not be able to see this very well on camera, but it's huge. I know cameras don't do some of these things justice, but this thing is absolutely huge. And all these weapons can be used to form the Power Blaster, which this bit moves here for transforming into the Power Blaster or the Power Axe, because he holds it like that to use an axe. Now you may be able to see there's some scuffs on the handle there. Now that is intentional. I did not do that, and it didn't. This was intentional. Threezero did it to make it look like it was beaten up, which obviously these weapons were beaten up. So it's got the Mastodon power coin there. But yeah, this thing is huge. Absolutely huge. One thing I will say though, is although it's made quite solidly, you do still have to be careful with it, because if you're not careful with it, it probably would break if you're a bit rough with it. And obviously, you won't be able to get this again unless you buy the Black Ranger singly, or you may be able to message Threezero it gets broken or becomes broken. Onto the next weapon here, which is the, if I can get hold of it, is the Blade Blaster. Now, I'm not going to show you this transformed and everything because it's, sorry guys, I dropped it, because it's exactly the same as all the other parts. There is absolutely no difference. The one thing I wish they had kind of done is made it a bit easier so you could get the blade piece out from underneath the gun. Now, I did see someone do a clever trick on YouTube, but I've also seen someone do a really stupid thing to get the blade out on YouTube. So the really clever thing was this guy got a bit of blue tack, stuck it to the silver blade, and as he pulled the blue tack, the silver blade came out, which I thought was an absolute genius way of doing it. And the other way is I saw someone get it out by sticking a knife in there to force the blade out. And to me, that is the most stupidest thing you could do. Because you could damage the weapon so easy. And I don't know if Threezero will replace the weapons if something happens. I imagine they will, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, yeah, please do not do the knife one where you stick a knife in there and try and force the blade out. So, don't do that. So, nearly lost a hand. If I can get hold of it. This is a fist hand. Again, just the same as all the other fist hands, apart from the girls, obviously, because the girls' fist hands are smaller. This is the, nearly dropped it again. So difficult to hold these guys without actually dropping them. This is, come here, you little bug. This is a weapon holding hand, which, yes, I know I'm holding upside down at the moment. But this is a weapon holding hand. In fact, they have two weapon holding hands, which pretty much exactly the same, I think. Which I will show you the other weapon holding hand. Again, if I can get hold of it. This is the other weapon holding hand, which again, like I said, looks pretty much the same as the other one. Now, onto the other hands. And now these are the kind of, these ones are actually a bit easier to hold. Now these are kind of the posing hands, so to speak, which again look absolutely fantastic. And one of my favourite things about these is they've even got the creases in the gloves to make it look as though they're bending their fingers. I absolutely love that. And the other posing hand is this one here, which again looks fantastic. He does have a normal, or he does have another pair of hands on him, which I will show you now really quick before I get onto the main figure. Now, these sets of hands are more a relaxed style of hands, and it's like that on both sides. So yeah, I'll get onto the main figure now. So here he is. Here's Zach or Adam, the Black Ranger, in a pose with the Power Axe. Now, his legs are like that because we've done him running, which is always holding the Power Axe like that. Now, I absolutely love this figure. Well, to be honest, I've said that about every single figure so far. But then again, I am biased to Mighty Morphin, so. But yeah, I absolutely love him. Looks fantastic as usual. One thing I will say, which isn't, well, it's really quite cool actually, because the figure's black and my stand is black. You can't see the bit that goes around his waist to hold him up. Detail on the helmet is, well, phenomenal. Or pardon the pun, guys, more phenomenal. Sorry, I had to do it. Now, there's a couple of people that have, for some reason, wanted to change their heads. But personally, I think there is absolutely no point changing the heads. But yes, absolutely love him. Looks fantastic. Looks just like he does on the show. So yes, I love him. Again, I do want to just reiterate, even though I've said this probably with every figure so far, be careful of the spandex, because I've got a feeling this might rip quite easily, so be careful of the spandex, because you'd have to buy a complete new figure. So yes, this is the Black Ranger figure. I love him. So I am now onto the Red Ranger of the 6-pack. Now, quick note, it's not the Dragon Shield Red Ranger, obviously. I've already done the thing of him, which, as you will see. But what it is the exact same body and mould onto the accessories. So I'll show you the biggest one, and I'm not being rude, which is the Power Sword here. Now, the only thing I wish, ouch, stab myself, guys, that's one thing you need to be careful of. It's the ends on these, because they are sharp. Now, the one thing I didn't mention in the Dragon Shield Red Ranger one is they haven't put in the kind of black outlines that should be in the patterns on the blade. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but again, you could do that if you wanted to. And like I said, it is quite sharp. Detail on it is absolutely incredible. The blade is bendable, so don't bend it too far because it will snap. So, on to the next accessory, which is the Blade Blaster, which again is exactly the same as all the others, so I'm not going to show you it because it's absolutely no difference. Well, obviously I'm going to show you it, but I'm not going to transform it because it's exactly the same as the others, so there's no point in transforming it because there's no difference. But tell you one thing you could do is you can focus. I will tell you a funny thing, but when I dropped it, the blade bit came out. So anyway, onto the hands. So I'm going to show you the fist hands now. If I can hold it. Yeah, got it. I'll try not to drop this. So this is Jason's fist hand, or Rocky's. Now, personally, I go with Jason because Jason was the first OG Red Ranger. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Steve as well as the Red Ranger, but Jason being the OG, or Austin St. John, who is the guy who played Jason, being the original Red Ranger, I think he will always be my favourite. Same with a lot of other people, but let me know who is your favourite Red Ranger, Rocky or Jason. Mine's Jason, but I also love Rocky as the Red Ranger. So that was the first fist hand. I'll show you the second one now. This is the other fist hand, which is exactly the same really, so I don't actually know why I'm showing you it. But yeah, exactly the same hand. Well, it's a different side hand obviously. So if you have both the same hands for each side, it would just look stupid, for lack of a better term. Now I'm going to show you the weapon holding hands, which are these ones. Here, as you can see, they've got a little hole in them for the weapons to go into. Again, looks absolutely fantastic. Love it. Again, if you find these too clean, you can make them a bit grubby yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially with the price of these figures. And this is the other weapon holding hand here. I think this one might be, judging by the look on the finger, for the gun, but I could be wrong. But I think that's what this is for. And now for the pose hands. And this is one of them, which again is kind of a classic Jason pose. Looks fantastic. Now, it does have another set of hands on the finger, which I'll also show you. But it's also got a set of hands missing that Threezero should have done, but they never did. So this is the other kind of pose hand, which again looks fantastic. Actually, if I hold it like that, also I was giving you the two-fingered salute. Sorry, I know that's my mind, but I had to do it. I just couldn't help myself. So, I'll quickly show you the hands he's got on him, and then I'll talk about the hands that Threezero should have done but never did. So he's got these kind of relaxed hands on him. I'll put them both up like that. Although he does look like he's doing the robot dance there. But these are the two kind of relaxed hands, if you can call this style a relaxed hand. Yeah, I love these hands as well. Now, got my finger stuck then. Now the hands Threezero should have done but never did are the kind of T-Rex two-fingered hands that go like that. I can't believe Threezero missed out on that, because that is one of the most classic poses Jason ever did. Now the thing they could do, which I'm kind of hoping they will do, is bring out an accessory pack maybe with more hands in, because obviously they did a lot more posing than this. So hopefully they'll bring out an accessory pack. Now, I don't know that for definite. That's just what I want to happen. I don't know whether it's going to happen, it's just what I want to happen. I'll show you the front first and then I'll turn it around. Now here's the morpher on the front of the belt. Now there's kind of a neat thing that this figure can do, well, they can all do it, is you see, if I turn it around, you see this kind of little different whole belt buckle bit that's on the back there, belt cover thing. That's what they call it on the show, I think. Now that can pull to the side, and there's a little belt fastener holder clip thing there, which you can take the belts off, which I'm not going to do, but I will show you the clip. So, this is the holster for the belt, or the belt buckle clip fastener thing, whatever you want to call it. Now that can undo and the belt can come off. Now the reason I'm not doing that is because it's quite a small buckle, and our fat fingers here won't be able to do it. Plus, knowing me, I'll never be able to get the belt back on. No, my luck. But yes, you can take it off, which I think is a nice touch. And also, one other thing I will show you, let me just check what foot it's on. I move the leg this way. On this foot, it has Threezero'S kind of sticker on it. It's got that on all the feet. Well, on one foot, it's not on both feet, but yeah. Again, I'm not going to do some major dynamic pose with it, but I am going to pose it. Now let's get in posed. So, I've got the Red Ranger posed on the stand with his power sword in kind of a dynamic pose, dynamic sword pose. And in fact, all of the Rangers that I've got set out on these stands are doing different style poses. So I thought having them all doing the same pose would just be a bit boring. So I got them doing all different sorts of poses. So yes, this figure looks great, as usual, with all these Threezero figures. The sword looks great as well. Again, I'm going to say this, mind the tip of the sword, because that is quite sharp. I wish Hasbro or Threezero had done the two-fingered T-Rex hands, which is kind of this design. I wish they'd done that. And actually, I'm surprised Hasbro didn't call them out on that as well, because it's a joint thing between Threezero and Hasbro, because I love this figure, it looks fantastic, suit looks awesome. Another thing I wish Threezero had kind of done the black outlining on the bits on the blade of the power sword. Red Ranger, love him, 10 out of 10. And yeah, on to the next figure. So, we are now on to the Pink Ranger. Now, I'm going to show you her accessories first. What I will point out first, before I start on the accessories, two things. One, she has the blade blaster, like all the others do, apart from green and white. So I'm not going to show that to you. And two, her hands are ridiculously smaller than the men's. So now I'll show you the accessories. So I'm going to show you the big one first. And this is actually quite solid, but it is sharp on the ends. Ouch. Now, this is her power bow. And the reason I'm holding it like this is they've got the writing on here. It says Ranger, which is a Japanese one. Now, I know that is screen accurate, but this being a Power Ranger set, a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger set, I would have thought they would have had Power Rangers written on there. In fact, I'm quite disappointed they don't. Now, a little bit annoying for me. I would have really liked it to be Power Rangers. As you can see, if I hold it like that, if I can hold it straight, it is absolutely huge. Actually, I'll hold it from the middle. It is absolutely huge. Now, again, I'll say it is sharp on the ends, there is nothing on the back apart from a couple of pink lines and some paint on the handle, and you do get a little pterodactyl power coin. But one of the things that I really do like about this is it actually has working elastic on it, which, be careful because that does hurt if you finger it on yourself. But I love the fact that it has a working elastic on it, and what's even more of a nice touch is it's pink to go with the Pink Ranger. Now, one thing I will warn you also about this is it'll go to about that far, but it won't go any further. And if you push it any further than that, you're probably going to snap it. On to the next accessory, which is the Arran, which again is quite sharp. Does have the occasional scuff on it to make it look like it was used like it does on the show. It is very sharp, quite long, and it is very, very bendable, so be careful how far you bend this because it will break. Anyway, got stuck to my glove then. And as usual, has the Blade Blaster, like all the others do, apart from Green Ranger and White Ranger. And again, this looks absolutely fantastic. Again, I want to say, be careful with these because the bits that come in and out and that are quite bendable and they could break, so be careful of that too. I'm going to go on to the hands. So I'm going to show you the posy hands first, so to speak. I can find out a way of holding them because they're in a weird way. So this is a posy hand, as I like to call it. Now I think this is actually for doing the power bow and the arrow. Well, not on this one hand, obviously, because there's two hands like this. But this is what I think this is for. I could be wrong, and this may well could hold the Blade Blaster as well. I'll find out when I look at the others. And it does have the stitching on it, which again looks absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm only going to show you the stitching on one hand because, well, all the hands have it, and this is the other posing hand, if I can get hold of it, that is, which is putting up a fight. So this is the other posing hand, which again looks fantastic, has the stitching. I think this might be for holding the arrow. I'm not sure, but I think it could be. And the other hands are, you have a fist hand, which again looks great, and it is. Well, the hands on the female rangers are a hell of a lot smaller than on the male rangers. The male rangers' hands are huge, like big. So this is one of the fist hands, and the other one is, the other fist hand is this one here, which again looks just like the other one. I'm actually holding it the wrong way up, but that'll work. Still a hand, you can still see what it is. And I'll find that in a minute, guys. I have no idea where that's gone at the moment. This hand is a weapon holding hand for the blade blaster, I think. And again, this is a weapon holding hand, which this could also be for the blade blaster, actually. So I'm going to move on to the figure now. So I have the Pink Ranger on the stand with her blade blaster in gun mode. I know it's not a completely dynamic pose, but it is a pose I like. Once again, love the suit, and there is a reason why I'm not in shot. But yes, I absolutely love this figure, and the reason I'm actually doing this video is because I either forgot to do it in the man cave or I've lost it. So that's why I'm doing it now. But yes, I love this figure. Looks fantastic. The colour is absolutely perfect. That's the Pink Ranger. So we are now on to the Yellow Ranger. I'm just going to point out, this is Trini, by the way, not the male G-Ranger version. I'm going to talk about the accessories first. So these are her power daggers. As you can see, they're mainly yellow with a little bit of silver in the gold power coin there. Does have nice detail work in it though, that looks absolutely awesome. So yeah, the detail work in these look absolutely awesome. And again, I've said this with every single weapon, they are really sharp. Detail on these is absolutely fantastic. And the second one is exactly the same, no difference at all. Yeah, bugger. Sorry guys, you weren't meant to hear that. So this is the Blade Blaster, like all the others have, or as they're known in G-Ranger, which is the Super Sentai version of Mighty Morphin. In the Sentai, they're called Ranger Stick, but it does the exact same thing as all the others did. I'm going to point out something really quick as well that I think is kind of weird that they did. So they do Ranger on the Power Bow, but on the Blade Blasters they've actually put Power Rangers, which I find really weird. It's just really weird to me that they've done that. But yes, the Blade Blasters do exactly the same things. And again, I'm going to repeat what I said before, someone actually used a knife to get one of the blades out on these. But I do recommend another trick that someone used. He got a bit of blue tack, stuck it to just the inside of the blade, in the blade blaster, pulled it, and it actually pulled the blade out. Which I thought that was an absolute genius thing to do. On to the rest of the figure. So, these are the weapon holding hands, which again are a lot smaller. Looking at this one, this could be for the blade blaster or the power daggers. It's really difficult to get hold of these things, guys. As in holding the hands without dropping them. So this is another fist hand, which, again, repeating myself again, looks exactly the same. But smaller, like the Pink Ranger. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Has the stitching. I completely love the design on these figures. This one here is kind of a pointy holding hand, which kind of, I think it's kind of funny. And actually, if you hold it like that, it looks as though she's doing their devil horn signs. Yeah. Then she's not, obviously, but that's what it looks like if you hold it like that. And now on to, well, this is the other hand that is exactly the same as this, as the other one. Again, doing the somewhat devil horn hands. These have the stitching again, like all the others do. Now these, I believe, are the weapon hands, if I'm correct. Jesus, you need a pair of pliers to hold these. So these are the weapon holding hands, I believe, to hold the power daggers or the blade blaster, I believe. Actually, there seems to be two sets of weapon holding hands, I think. Oh, these are actually the fist hands. So I said that wrong, sorry guys. But these are actually the fist hands, which again look absolutely amazing. The attention to detail on the fingers as well, on the bends of the fingers, just look absolutely awesome. On the last fist hand, I should say. This is the last fist hand. And now onto the Yellow Ranger figure itself. We have the Yellow Ranger posed with the power daggers, but she can look side to side and down, but she can't. To be honest, with these figures, they're mainly collector's items, so they're mainly for posing. Which is mainly what I'm going to do. So, again, doing the hands on some of these figures is, well, on all of these figures is a bit of a pain in the butt because they're kind of ball joint things come out. But all in all, absolutely love this figure. Well, I love all these figures. And if they do the Black Ranger with the dragon shield on, so I will get him. But all in all, absolutely love these figures. Worth the money. If I can find a link, I will put that down below. So we are now on to the Green Ranger. Now, quick note before I crack into talking about the accessories and the main figure itself. I am going to be a bit biased on this figure because the Green Ranger is my favourite Ranger ever of all the Rangers JDF has been. Because, one, he was the first ever Sixth Ranger to be on the show. Plus he was evil, and I love evil Rangers. And two, he's an absolute badass. Now, one other quick note. As you've seen by all of my Power Ranger photos that I posted in reviews and that, I have met him loads and loads of times. To the most recently in 2020, I will get onto the figure in a minute. Just mentioning this first because it's still about the Green Ranger, but not about Threezero'S. Most recently in 2020, I did an interview with him, which was absolutely amazing for me. I absolutely loved it. It took a bit of leg pulling to sort out, but we managed to sort it out. I'm not going to tell you what we had to do to sort it out, so let's get on to the figure now. I'm going to show you the accessories first. First one I'm going to show you is it's the Sword of Darkness, and it is big, which goes perfectly with this Ranger, or with the scale of these Rangers, I should say. Ow, stabbed myself again. So this is the Sword of Darkness, which, again, I absolutely love the detail on this thing. They've absolutely nailed the detail. Again, it is sharp on the top, so be careful. They've nailed the curve as well, which again looks fantastic. Just the absolute detail on this all over is amazing. I would say this is the best ever sculpt of it. And I do actually have a full-size Sword of Darkness, which on my wall in here at the moment, which you've probably seen already because it has been in videos that I've done. But yes, it is full size, and it wasn't cheap. This is an actual tassel, which I absolutely love. Onto the next weapon, which is, get off me, which is also another favourite weapon of mine. So, we are now onto the Dragon Dagger, which looks absolutely amazing. as usual, as you can see, it's nowhere near as long as the Dragon Dagger as the Sword of Darkness. Jeez, now I got tongue-tied then. But the detail on it for such a small thing is incredible. Absolutely incredible. But yes, detail is absolutely amazing. That was the Dragon Dagger. I love it. So he has 4 sets of hands and 1 extra one for some reason, which we need to try and figure out why, because I have no idea. There is a reason for it now, I reckon. Anyway, I'll show you the fist hands first. And I could be wrong, but this JDF's fist hands seem bigger for some reason to me, and I don't know why. But they do, and I can't actually get hold of it to show you at the moment. There it is. This definitely looks bigger to me. And the other fist hand is here, which is exactly the same. So, yeah, it's exactly the same. And now I will show you the weapon holding hands, which are this one here, if I can get a hold of it. Yeah, this is a weapon holding hand, which by looking at it, it looks as though it's for the Sword of Darkness. But I could be wrong. It could be for either, actually. But yeah, here it is. Looks absolutely fantastic. Before now, I had never collected this size of style of figures, which is onto the weapon hands again. This is another weapon holding hand. Now, actually, judging by the hole on this one, and I'm not being rude, this one might be for the Sword of Darkness, actually. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah. And I think these next couple are for playing the dragon flute. Or at least this one is, definitely. So I recognise the style of the hands. So this one is definitely for playing the dragon flute. And again, the attention to detail on the hands of these are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's for the Dragon Dagger, playing the Dragon Dagger. This one, it's difficult to tell actually. This one could also be for playing the Dragon Dagger. It's difficult to tell. I think it's going to be guesswork when you post them, to be honest. Because it doesn't make it very clear. And the extra hand he's got, which I believe is this one, looks again fantastic. And obviously, I'm now going to pick up the Green Ranger for a second. And he's got this kind of relaxed style hands on him so far, or at the moment I should say. So yeah, they're all the hands and all the accessories you get. Question. Quick thing I'm going to tell you guys. The dragon shield does not come off of him. So don't try taking it off because it's literally attached to him. And I've got a feeling they might bring out the Black Ranger with the dragon shield as well, like he was on the show for a couple of episodes. During, I think, the first part of Green the V4, he didn't actually have the dragon dagger on stage his shoulder. But I'll tell you one thing you can do, because there is one episode where he doesn't have the dragon dagger holster on his belt. So you could undo the belt and take the holster off. But if you do that, be careful you don't lose it. Let's get him posed. So, here's the Green Ranger posed with the Sword of Darkness and the Dragon Dagger in his hands. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. I will put the link to the set in the description below now. Again, I recommend you go and get them. Make sure you're wearing gloves like these, or even when you're working with them, so you don't get. So yes, I love these figures. I have my review of the 6 set of Power Rangers. That's bye bye for now from Arran.